What is up, everybody? I'm Mega Short Fuse, and I'm bringing you something that is going to become a weekly fixture on this channel. Now, I love Mass Effect's multiplayer, and so do a lot of other people, and this is for you. I've noticed that, when there's a weekend challenge, people tend to play chaotically, and some people tend to not know what the hell to do, and considering that this week's weekend challenge was featured in PC Gamer, I gathered that a lot of you are going to try and cop back on Mass Effect just, for old time's sake, and try to play the multiplayer a bit, and be, completely perplexed by the depth and variety that it has to offer. Fear not, however. Every week I'm going to try, and every Friday, there's going to be a video like this that explains what the weekend challenge is and what the most readily available classes that can actually, complete the challenge. And this week it's Operation Detonator, which consists of scoring 20,000 points in biotic detonation kills, and emphasis on kills. And what I'm using is the first class the first adept that is readily available to you, the human male adept, who I've christened Webcock, because Shockwave sounds like dubstep, and I have colored him the color of explosive hemorrhoid diarrhea because I'm weird, I don't know. But what are biotic explosions? A crash course, quickly. Biotic explosions are, as you can guess, explosions caused by biotics, and they have two parts to them. The first part is called a primer. That is a biotic power which can prime a target for a biotic explosion, meaning that he can be exploded. And the second one is called a detonator, which it blows up the primer, basically. And on this class, those are warp and shockwave, at least for me. And at the end of the video, there is a class. I've explained the class setup and my reasoning behind it, although I should make a quick note. When we get to it, the lifting capabilities of Shockwave don't seem to work on PC, I don't know. But I've chosen this extraction round to demonstrate the awesome power of biotic explosions, especially when there's more than one biotic on the team. That should be crazy! But yeah, what you want to do is basically warp something and then throw Shockwave at it, and it should blow up. I say should because Shockwave stopped working halfway through this match for me and then started working again. But they're easy to pull off, and on this class, relatively, it's simple. It's a 1-2 punch, basically. But you ought to be careful, because this class is quite squishy, and even a full spec into defensive passives doesn't make it less squishy. And this isn't max level, so you'll see when we get to the class setup. But yeah, you have to be careful when trying to detonate biotic explosions, and you have to try and get every advantage you possibly can, because this is silver difficulty, and even on silver difficulty it's kind of hard playing a biotic when it's the most basic one. But you can do alright if you're careful, if you are really careful. Just don't run in front of things, don't charge things that have shields on them, and most importantly, if you have access to warp ammo, use it. There is a spec in warp, or just warp, I think, when you expose something, there's something called lift damage, which isn't what it seems. Basically, if something is primed by warp and you have warp ammo does a ton of bonus damage, so you can use that to your advantage. Use warp ammo, use warp on something, shoot it with warp ammo, and then detonate it after the 6-second window you have when warp works. And you can quite effectively kill a brute with a clip of katana shots, which is the most basic shotgun in the game. So yeah, this is how to, again, basically play this class. Careful, prime, blow up, simple. This week's challenge isn't particularly hard to grasp. And now for the class setup. As I've mentioned, this class has been spec'd for pure biotic explosion capabilities. So as we see now, warp, I have spec'd into detonate, to which increases force and damage and impact radius, so you can have more room for error. Expose, so you can actually help your team by exposing targets, so they can do more damage. And recharge speed, because warp is kind of slow. Shockwave, I don't know if this might work for you, but I've spec'd it for radius, which is always useful, because Shockwave is kind of hard to hit. Detonate, which is self-explanatory. And lifting, which I'm not sure works on PC, but I spec'd into it just to try and have maximum biotic explosion capability. And as for the passives, you go power damage, and weapon damage, and this will allow you to carry more heavy weapons into the game. And fitness for just spec maximum shields, because this class is quite squishy. And Just to show you the reward from this, the commendation pack, I got an N7 Valkyrie, which I'm not sure if it's good or what it does, but I'm gonna be trying it out because I can't wait to go back to playing Mass Effect. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this informative. Share it with people who, I don't know, want to jump in this week's weekend challenge, and this might help you not fail. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.